are Locked On Lakers POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Los Angeles, on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Lakers return to the court after a devastating week in Los Angeles. Anthony Davis is the only Laker that came to play, but once again, the Lakers are a no-show in the second half. We talk about it all on the Locked On Lakers postcast. I'm Dave Palais. Hey, this segment is brought to you by Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, or use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem with the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. So the Los Angeles Lakers, they lose tonight in a very disappointing game. Again, final score 126-102. Big things in Los Angeles this week. Things much more important than basketball. Of course, our thoughts are with everyone that had to be evacuated, people who lost their homes, their property, everything that goes into the devastation of losing life memories. So, of course, we're thinking of you. Again, if you want to follow Laker basketball on a regular basis on the Locked On Sports Network, of course, you can. Brian and Andy do a great job, do a fantastic job on a daily basis. Again, I'm here to talk post-game with you. Of course, it's a game, right? Just post-game, and games are supposed to be fun. What happened this week in Los Angeles is absolutely devastating. I've been through it before in previous fires where I've had to evacuate my home, and there is nothing worse than the fear of losing the home that you live in, that your family lives in. And I think for people who have been through it, for me, the toughest part was when you start to take pictures off the wall and you start putting as much stuff, in the car as you can before you're thinking this is a possibility that you drive away from your home forever. So again, sports is supposed to be lighthearted. It's what is an escape from everyday life, whether it's going to work or if it's somebody that you're around that's not well. Sports is supposed to be fun. So when you talk about a Laker game, of course, it is a game. And this is real life. This is the worst part of real life of what Los Angeles has gone through over the last week. I will say this, since we're here to talk Laker basketball, I will appreciate your comments. We will add to it because right now there are a lot of question marks about this Laker team. Question marks meaning like, can this team compete? And when I mean compete, it's always about competing for a championship. Can they compete for the remainder of the year to be a playoff team? I mean, what are we watching right now as Laker fans? As Laker fans, it's extremely disappointing. Again, I've followed this team for a long time and, been a fan my entire life and love the Lakers. I love the halftime ceremony with Michael Cooper, but what we saw today was ridiculous. So let's start with something fun. Let's start with Michael Cooper. If you watch the game today, you got to see number 21 finally go up and get his number retired. And Michael Cooper has been a fan favorite. One of the first fan favorites I can remember because I started watching Laker basketball in 1980. Even though I know all the history of Laker basketball and how important Laker basketball is to me, just a quick background on me. Was born in Los Angeles, moved away, but I'd come back every single summer to spend time with my grandmother. And then I finally moved back to Los Angeles after 6-7 years in Nashville, Tennessee. And right away, I was like, I got to get to a Laker game. And so loved the Lakers so much. And I remember the very first game I went to, it was Dominic Wilkins. It was Spud Webb. It was 1986. And the person who took me, believe it or not, they had floor seats. And we're on the floor. And, I'm a high school kid. And sitting to my right is Rob Lowe. Sitting behind me is Tommy Lasorda. Sitting to my left is Jim Belushi. And I'm looking at Dominic Wilkins, but I'm looking at Magic and Kareem. And I knew Magic was a fan favorite. Magic's my guy. Has always been my guy. I have his jersey right behind my head right there. Love Magic Johnson. And then I thought in my head, well, who's the second best player on the team? Well, it's Kareem. And who's the third best player on the team? It's James Worthy. Well, the fan favorite behind Magic Johnson, and it wasn't close, it was Michael Cooper. For Michael Cooper to stand up when Pat Riley was ready to put him in the game, and he would take his warm-ups off, and the crowd would all in unison, Coop. And I was like, what is going on? Like, do people understand how good James Worthy is? Do people understand that Kareem is one of the greatest players of all time? But it was all about Michael Cooper. And I thought it was really cool. And so it was one of those where I watch it on TV and I would do the Coop thing and I was all in. And for years, number 21, the thought was he wasn't going to get his number retired. He wasn't a Hall of Famer. He wasn't a consistent all-star player. He was a great defensive player, and he was a sixth man. And are they going to retire his number? And you saw that number being issued all the time, right? Kareem Rush, I was joking around with my son, is going to be really upset when he sees Michael Cooper's number get retired. But that's all just tongue in cheek. It was so great to see Michael Cooper get his number retired and how much it meant to him. And you had to see that he grabbed a tissue, and to see Pat Riley show up, because the Miami Heat are in town, and the Miami Heat will play the Lakers on Wednesday, and hopefully we get a win. But the Miami Heat was playing across town at the same time, playing the Clippers, and Pat Riley didn't go to the game. And he went and he honored a guy who's done so much for him in Michael Cooper that it was great. And if you're like me, and if you're around my age and you watch Laker basketball when Michael Cooper played, you remember Chick Hearn just telling stories and how much he loved Michael Cooper. And so all that was a flashback to a great player, a great teammate. Magic Johnson, referenced it, saying he could have gone to another team and been a starter, probably an all-star, but he wanted to be part of the Lakers. And as Laker fans, we loved having him. And he was not only a fan favorite, he was a great player. And so for the Lakers to come out tonight and not play well for a bunch of reasons, One is you played one of the lesser teams in the league. Spurs, I understand. They'd qualify for a playoff position right now, but the Spurs aren't one of the better teams in the league. And then at the same time, when you look at San Antonio and how they're up and coming, they're years away from being a team like the Lakers should even think about losing to. Let's win on Michael Cooper night. This has been such a tough week in Los Angeles. Let's win on a night when Los Angeles needs to win. And hats off to the Rams. I will say that, because the Chargers didn't do anything to represent a city that's been devastated. And again, I understand it's sports, but the Lakers didn't do it either. The Rams, they won tonight in really in a tough situation where they had to move the venue. Yet the Rams were able to pull out a win. It was nice, something to take your mind off something for a few hours of the devastation of what's gone on in your city, to say, you know what, the Rams had a nice win. So hats off to them. I understand it's football and we're doing a basketball show. But again, just curious, what your thoughts are on Michael Cooper, the number retiring. For me, it meant a lot. It was part of my childhood, and it meant a lot. For the Lakers again tonight to lose 126-102. We'll get into the game, I promise you. And very disappointing to see the way things went right there. So before we get into how they ended up by losing by 24 points and how things fell apart, we'll mention a couple of different things here. First of all, want to mention the sponsor, of course, brand new sponsor to the show, the Ultimate College Basketball Head Coach. Again, it's pretty neat. Ultimate College Basketball HC. Take a moment to introduce the brand new mobile game that I'm really excited about. It's Ultimate College Basketball HC. Now, if you've ever dreamed of being a college basketball head coach, this is your chance to step into those shoes. Ultimate College Basketball HC, you will control every detail of your program, from recruiting players, hiring coaching staffs, and overseeing training camps, handling NIL deals, managing scholarships. It's all in your hands. Kind of cool. So when it comes to game time, you just drop an offensive plays, set your strategy. Then look, here's the way it works: is the way you play won't just affect your current season, but also shape the future of your school's basketball program. It's a game that lets you feel the full weight of what it means to be a head coach of your team and leading them to glory. So here's the deal. All you have to do is use a special offer, Locked On NBA, for NBA listeners that listen to the Laker post game. Use the promo code Locked On CBB. Again, Locked On CBB. It's all caps. Inside of the game store to get a free boost of your program, and it's perfectly good way to kickstart your coaching career. Download the Ultimate College Basketball HC. Just visit ultimate-cbb.com or look it up on app stores. Ultimate College Basketball HC. Begin your coaching legacy today. It's a blast. You're going to love it. You're absolutely going to love it. I also want to mention the people over at Game Time. Look, we talk about it all the time, going to live events. If you go to an event like tonight, you say, I'm going to go to the game, and you want to see your team win. Sometimes it doesn't work that way. But whether it's sports, it's music, theater, or comedy, one of my favorite memories, of course, is always talking about the concerts that I've been to. My favorite concert, I said before, was one all the way back in 2011 when it was Staples Center, and before it was crypto, was seeing Kanye and Jay-Z. Went with my son. It was one of the best times I ever had. Had a great time. The energy, the excitement, they're unforgettable. Now Game Time has made it even easier to get tickets for your favorite events with their new feature, Game Time Picks. This feature filters out all the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Recently, I was looking for tickets for an upcoming event. Again, I say it on the show all the time. I always do this baseball tour where I go to different ballparks. And, of course, I use the Game Time app. That's exactly what my son and I do every single year when we're sitting there crossing off different stadiums that we're going to see that year. Found amazing deals that you could view from my seat what it would look like before I even bought it. Super Deal was particularly impressive, offering great seats at unbeatable prices, plus the app's all-in pricing shows total cost upfront with no surprise fees at checkout. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? It is Game Time. So real simple. Again, appreciate all that's gone on. So let's look at this Laker game right here and how things went from really bad to really bad. Okay. So the Lakers in the first quarter, they're outscored 28-26. Now here's the deal. The Lakers actually got off to a really good run. If you watch the entire game like I did, the Lakers jumped out to a 7-0 lead in the first quarter. Now the Spurs wasted a little time. They tied the game up at 9. That was a little frustrating. Going, okay, when's the next Laker run coming? Well, guess what? Since the Lakers went on a 7-0 run, they were outscored 28-19 in the quarter. Anthony Davis did come to play tonight. He had 11 points. Austin Reeves had 5. LeBron had 3. But the Lakers bench, they had 7 points. And so 7 points in one quarter. In the first quarter, I'm thinking it's going to be a decent night for the Lakers. Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent, they were the ones that scored for the Lakers in that quarter. So I'm going, things are going to lead the right direction. Victor Wembanyama, he had 9 points in 9 minutes. And overall, you're thinking, the Lakers can rally. It was just a bad first quarter where, they got outscored 28-26. So moving on to the second quarter, the Lakers look like the Lakers. Like, this is why we turned the game on. This is why you're at the game. Lakers outscored the Spurs 38-25. LeBron James, Austin Reeves, they had 7 points each. Lakers went on a 14-5 run over the last 3 minutes. They, again, led 55-44 at the half. And so to stretch the lead, to 55-44 at the half, they were leading 62-53. But the Lakers are looking like they're on a roll, and everything is going well. Then you have the Michael Cooper retirement ceremony, and you're feeling pretty good about this team. Anthony Davis led the Lakers at the half with 13. Austin Reeves had 12. He had 5 assists. LeBron James had 10 points, 5 assists. Things felt like they were going our way and going, this is going to be a win. Lakers need this win. It's been a tough week. Lakers didn't look good in their last game. Lakers really needed a rally here. Lakers shot 55% from the field, 39% from behind the arc. Lakers out-rebounded the Spurs 21-17. Lakers had 16 assists. The Spurs had 14. Lakers had 9 turnovers, which is high. Disappointing. Spurs only had 5. Wemby, again, great. He had 14 points at the half. But the Spurs only shot 47% from the field, 33% three-point range. And the Lakers outscored the Spurs bench 14-6. Again, everything felt like it was going in the right direction for this team. Third quarter, the Spurs outplayed the Lakers. 36-27, they outscore them. So in the third quarter, it's 89-89. That's going to the fourth. But look, the Lakers' turnovers were brutal. Lakers had 6 turnovers in the quarter. How does that happen? Every night, it seems like we're talking about the same thing, taking care of the ball. The Lakers aren't real aggressive on the boards. The Spurs are a tough team, I understand, to be aggressive on the boards with when you have Wemby out there who's so good and so just a giant. But at the same time, when you look at the rebounding numbers, you'll realize the Lakers had opportunities. Wembanyama had 20 points through 3 quarters. Chris Paul added 8 points, 8 assists. Again, doing what he's supposed to do. I guarantee you the Spurs are surprised right now in that locker room as the Lakers are, going, how do they pull that one off? And also by such an impressive margin. Anthony Davis through 3 quarters, 25 points, 9 rebounds. And again, LeBron James had 14. Austin Reeves shut out in the quarter. What happened to Austin Reeves? Completely shut out in the third quarter when the Lakers obviously need someone to score. We're going to get into this Laker offense and why they struggle. Lakers, though, through three quarters, made 14 3-pointers, which was a plus. Fourth quarter, complete disaster. Maybe the worst quarter of the season for the Lakers. The turnovers just kept happening, and things got out of hand. The Lakers needed a timeout. And if you've listened to me do this post-game show all the time and talking about the Lakers, one of my favorite things is Pat Riley on how he used to use his timeouts. He was a master at it. And to know Pat Riley was in the building tonight made me wonder, what was he thinking? How are you not calling timeout? I mean, if you recall, and again, this is going way back. I don't know how many young, listeners we have and how many people are about my age, but Pat Riley wearing the really expensive suits. Let's go for the 20-second timeout. And for the Lakers, they don't call timeout. And they're saving their timeouts, and they're saving their timeouts. And J.J. Redick seems to not understand momentum, which is weird because he played under great coaches. J.J. Redick doesn't understand how you have to stop the other team when they're sitting there surging and your team is falling apart. But yet he continues not to call timeouts when the Lakers definitely need a timeout. And it is frustrating. It is frustrating. You know at home when to call a timeout. I know when to call a timeout. And I don't know what to say. Is it that he doesn't have the right assistant coaches? Because I guarantee you the players, and I mean the players that have been around this league for a long time, the Anthony Davises, the LeBron James, the guys that are going to the Hall of Fame, they're looking over at the bench. Are you going to call a timeout? Like, we need it. We are turning the ball over nonstop. We are giving San Antonio a tremendous advantage. If you aren't aware, San Antonio outscored the Lakers 73-40 in the second half. How are you not calling timeout? How are you not stopping the momentum? And I want to give J.J. Redick a pass so bad for a variety of reasons. One is I thought they needed a breath of fresh air when they got rid of Darvin Ham. But J.J. Redick's friends with LeBron James. They had the podcast together. Is he the right guy for the job? At least it's someone that LeBron likes because LeBron has the reputation of being a coach killer. But this has gone on long enough. I mean, not saying you're firing a coach. It's January 13th. It's extremely frustrating to see that they have a head coach, meaning the Lakers, that doesn't understand the rhythm of a game. That he has two big name assistants, and Scott Brooks and Nate McMillan, who are head coaches that don't understand the rhythm of the game. The Lakers do this all the time, where they don't understand when you need to call a timeout to stop the momentum of the other team. It seems like we talk about it all the time, that we as fans feel like we could run it better than the head coach. We have no business running it better than the head coach. It's not what we're qualified for. And another disappointing situation, another disappointing loss. Not only disappointing, maybe the worst loss of the year when you think about it. For everything that this week had involved in it, maybe the worst loss of the year. So frustrating to see, again, what happened with the Lakers there and what the Lakers do to move forward. I can't tell you, because it doesn't seem like things are going to change, because what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over, and that's what the Lakers continue to do. We'll look at your comments in a second, and also we'll go through the box score, but it's extremely frustrating. Want to mention the people over at Open Phone. Running a small business means you're wearing a lot of hats. Your personal phone becomes your business phone, and before you know it, you're juggling customer calls all day, all night. As your team grows, it becomes impossible to manage everything with just your personal number. That's where Open Phone comes in. It's the #1 business system designed to help you keep your work and your personal life separate. For just $15 a month, the cost of a few cups of coffee, you'll get complete transparency and with visibility with everything happening with your business phone. Open Phone works through an app on your phone or your computer that integrates the tools like HubSpot and hundreds of others. It also uses AI-powered call transcripts and summaries, so you'll have a rundown of your calls, action items, and the second you hang up, you're ready to go. And if you miss a call, no problem. Automated messages are sent directly to your customer, ensuring that you'll never miss an opportunity to engage. Right now, Open Phone is offering 20% off your first 6 months when you go to openphone.com/LockedOnNBA. That's openphone.com/LockedOnNBA for 20% off 6 months. Openphone.com/LockedOnNBA. If you have an existing number and other numbers or another service, Open Phone will port them at no extra charge. Very simple right there for you as well. So let's take a look at this box score right here for the Lakers and how things ended up the way they did. You look at Anthony Davis, again, came to play, right? We've had criticism of Anthony Davis. Well, Anthony Davis came to play. Looked like a guy that was on a mission. I think, when you're going up against a guy like Victor Wembanyama and you're going, this is one of the tougher guys to cover guard in the league. Anthony Davis knew he would have a battle, and he outplayed him. I'll be honest with you. Anthony Davis in 32 minutes had 30 points, 13 rebounds. Great night for Anthony Davis. All right. He only had 2 turnovers. He had 2 steals. He had 2 assists, but it was a good night. 2 block shots also, by the way. When you looked at Wembanyama, he had 23 points. Anthony Davis outscored him. You look at the rebounds for Victor Wembanyama. He had 8 rebounds. Anthony Davis out-rebounded him. They both had 2 block shots. But at the same time, which guy's leaving the parking lot tonight happier? Of course, it's Wemby. Wemby got the win, 126-102. Wemby did his damage in 34 minutes. So for the Lakers, Anthony Davis came to play. What about the other guys? Well, you look at the other starters. You have Rui. He had 9 points, 3 of 6 shooting in 30 minutes. Not a lot of shots for Rui. LeBron, 18 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. The highlight for him, 7 turnovers for LeBron. 7. Unbelievable. When you look at 7 turnovers, considering the Spurs only had 10 as a team, way too many. All right. Austin Reeves, 12 points in 33 minutes. Austin Reeves disappeared in the second half. 4 of 14 shooting, 2 of 7 from 3-point range. Even the free throws, he only had 2 of them. He was 2 of 2. Lakers did not play well all the way around. The score shows it. The Lakers showed it. Max Christie had 10 points. Rui was only one, by the way, who did not score in double figures. He had 9 for the Lakers out of the starters. But overall, not the kind of game you're looking for the Lakers. Lakers rebounds, 40. You look at San Antonio's rebounds. They had 42. Assists, San Antonio had 30. Lakers had 24. But the turnovers, Lakers had 18 on the night. 18. And San Antonio, again, turnovers, they took care of the ball. 10. I mean, so you look at the different possessions and you go and looking at the turnovers and go, why does this happen? You don't take care of the ball. Free throws, San Antonio, they shoot 85% from the free throw line. What do we talk about all the time? You have to shoot at least 80% from the free throw line in the NBA. Lakers at home shot 62.5% from the free throw line. How does it happen? Right? How does it happen where, then in practice, they have all the basketball goals. Everyone's sitting in your lineup with a partner. You're shooting your free throws. We all did it in high school. You do it in college. You do it in the pros. This is what you do. They're free throws. They're free. You're supposed to make them. Lakers shooting 62% on their home court from the free throw line. How does it happen? It's the same distance as before. I was so mad right there. I almost cussed at you. I was a little irritated. But yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating right now. So I don't know what to tell you. It's disappointing to see where the Lakers are at. And again, I'm curious to know what you think as Laker fans, what needs to be changed. Okay. So I see Craig right there in the chat. Hey, Craig, nice to see you as always. Craig also says Cooper was the heart and guts of the Lakers. He was a big part of it, right? Zero ego, right? When Magic and Kareem and James Worthy are getting a lot of publicity, it takes a lot to be a team player. Coop was the ultimate team player. Do the Lakers have enough of those, or do the Lakers not have enough guys that can put the ball in the hoop? Also, why does Rui start? There's a lot of talk. Does Rui belong in the starting lineup? You look at the trade they just made with the Nets. Do they need to make a move? Okay. Lakers, again, with all these turnovers, disappointing. Lakers need to make a change somewhere. But as we hear all the time, that the Lakers are in a situation where they kind of their hands are tied. Now that you pulled off this move with the Nets, this kind of was their big trade. Can the Lakers do something to create some kind of offense? I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know what you're going to do as far as with offense, with the Lakers offense, to sit there and say you need to add a guy. I think they needed an offensive guy that was, hate to say it, either better than Dorian Finney-Smith, or they aren't getting enough out of Dorian Finney-Smith. He's the reason why you brought him over. Shake Milton again doesn't play tonight. Dalton Connect, 5 points, 1 of 5 shooting. Dalton Connect is so inconsistent. It's frustrating to see him have his growing pains as a rookie. But for the Lakers, this bench right now isn't impressive. Gabe Vincent tonight, 3 of 6 in 17 minutes. He was your best bench player as far as offense goes. But there's no one on this team bench-wise that's giving you double digits. We saw it in the Dallas Mavericks game. We saw a bench guy get 23 points. But for the Lakers, they don't have those bench guys that are able to do it. Even the Spurs had a bench guy. Johnson tonight had 10 points for the Spurs. Lakers don't get double-digit points off the bench. I mean, speaking of Michael Cooper, was a great sixth man. Michael Cooper not only played great defense, but he was able to step in for a Byron Scott and become a great number 2 guard. Magic had complete faith in Michael Cooper. Michael Cooper, as we remember, the Koopa loops, but Michael Cooper was a great 3-point shooter too. And he was a guy that could sit there and stretch the other team's defense and open things up. I understand it's a different game where you fed the ball to Kareem inside and people relied on the 2 points more than the 3 points. But Michael Cooper probably would have been a better player in today's game than he was when he played it because he had the ability to shoot the 3-point shot. For the Lakers, the offense stinks. Let's just be honest. The offense is so inconsistent. It's not good. And for Austin Reeves, who had his 12 points and 8 assists and 5 rebounds, on paper, it doesn't look like a bad game, except for the fact he completely disappeared point-wise. The Lakers need guys to put the ball in the basket. And when you look at Laker teams that have won championships in the past, there's always been that spark that comes off the bench. They don't have it. Right now, I think you're asking too much from Anthony Davis and LeBron James to carry you offensively. LeBron to have his game of 18 points and 8 assists and 5 rebounds at age 40 is not a bad game for a 40-year-old, not a bad game for a lot of people, but for LeBron and for the Lakers, we're looking at LeBron to get 32 to 36 points for the Lakers to have a chance to win. You're asking a lot. And that's where, again, you look at Rob Pelinka and you say, how do you not go out and get a more established scorer than Dorian Finney-Smith? How is that the best effort that you can do when you're pulling off a trade? So very frustrating for Laker fans, very frustrating for me, very frustrating for you. For the Lakers to be outscored 37-13 in the fourth quarter, complete embarrassment. To be outscored in the second half 73-40, complete embarrassment. It's the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs are a 500 team. The Spurs are not the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Spurs aren't the Cavs. For this to happen against a Spurs team, completely embarrassing. And for the Lakers, things have to get better. Things have to change. I don't know. I don't know what they see as far as what you're going to see on Wednesday to see a change. I don't think you're going to see any difference. You're going to see the same starting 5. You're going to see the same guys. The same thing over and over again when this team struggles and they have no identity. The Lakers still don't have an identity of what they are right now. And again, it becomes very frustrating. So let's take a look at the Lakers in the standings. Again, you guys have heard the spiel before. We want the Lakers in the top 4 in the playoff picture. Right now, the Lakers are at number 7. Lakers are the 7th seed right now. Here's how it works for the Lakers, who they're trailing. They're trailing the Oklahoma City Thunder. Thunder have won 9 of their last 10. You're trailing the Houston Rockets, who are the number 2 seed. Rockets have won 4 straight. Memphis is number 3 seed. Memphis is 5-5 in their last 10, so maybe they're coming back a little bit. Denver Nuggets are the number 4 seed. That's where we want to be. Nuggets are starting to figure things out. They've won 7 of their last 10, 3 in a row. Dallas Mavericks seem to lose against everybody but the Lakers. The Dallas Mavericks have only won 3 of their last 10 games. And, of course, they have a ton of injuries. Yet the Dallas Mavericks had no problem getting up for the Lakers. LA Clippers win tonight against the Miami Heat. And for the Clippers, they're the 6th seed, and they're your Lakers. You're right there behind the Clippers. Lakers right now are the 7th seed. But watch out for Minnesota because they're right behind the Lakers. Sacramento Kings are now in the playoff picture. Sacramento is 20-19 at number 9. Phoenix Suns in the playoff picture. Guess who's right there? They're same record as the Suns, but they aren't in the playoff picture according to the recent standings. The Spurs are 19-19, so are the Suns at 19-19. Golden State Warriors not in the playoff picture, 19-20. All the talk that, hey, what about if LeBron asked for a trade and wanted to play with Steph? Hey, how about the other way around? How about Golden State looking to get rid of some guys? It would be nice to get some scores. There's no way Golden State's making a deal with the Lakers, by the way. Portland Trail Blazers, Utah Jazz, Pelicans, they're the ones that are on the outside. So, of course, that's the way it sets up. In the East, Cleveland, they snapped their long winning streak, which is great because if you're like me, you want to see the Lakers with their 33-game winning streak in 1972. You want to see that one hold up. Cleveland, still, they've won 9 of their last 10. They're on fire, 33-5 on the season. Celtics 5.5 games out. New York Knicks 8.5 games out. And really, those are the 3 teams I think people are talking about in the East. Maybe Milwaukee if they got hot, but it would be interesting to see what the Lakers can possibly do. I know the Miami Heat have some players on their team that Laker fans would love to see in a Laker uniform. Either way, Lakers, bad night tonight, 126-102. They lose at home to the San Antonio Spurs. Let's get this bad taste out of our mouths. Let's sit there and get ready to play on Wednesday against the Miami Heat. San Antonio, let's put them in the rearview mirror. Let's get ready for the Heat on Wednesday night. Again, 7 o'clock tip-off from Crypto. Let's see if the Lakers can get that win. And again, for the people that tuned in, just to get a little bit of a break of what has been a terrible week in Los Angeles, thank you so much for your time. Always appreciate that you're talking Laker basketball with me. But again, I'm Dave Pallay. You can follow me on social media. My name is right there in the corner of the screen. And at the same time, we'll be back with you talking Laker basketball. Again, every Laker show on the Locked On Network, you can catch it right there anywhere you can get your podcasts. Brian and Andy, every single day, Laker basketball. I'm here just for the post game. But otherwise, we will see you Wednesday. And thank you so much for your time. And let's get a Laker win on Wednesday so we have something good to talk about. Have a good night, everybody.